This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Delighted, as always, to be joined by the IBF Featherweight Champion of the World, Josh Warrington. We're here in Leeds. You've re-signed with Matchroom. Congratulations, Josh.
I have. And Rob, I'll first start this interview by saying it's good to have you here, because I know you've been going through a bad time recently, and it's the first time you've been in the country for a long time. So I'm honoured that you've come back to Leeds and, back to England, really, and you're interviewing me. Top man. But yeah, we've signed with Matchroom. So many exciting times ahead. Obviously, Eddie sounded very interested and very excited when he was up on stage. And some big opportunities to come in the last couple of chapters of my career.
Well, thanks for welcoming me back. I came back specifically for you, so you're very welcome. Do me a favour.
Valentine's Day and all that tomorrow.
Yeah, careful you.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be in camp. Yeah. Anyway, do me a favour before we get started. Explain your last conversation with Eddie Hearn before you left and compare it to your first conversation when he was interested in re-signing you.
Last conversation, well, I've taken a few punches to Ed since then. I think I spoke to him on phone for about half hour, 45 minutes before we parted ways. And that was it. And listen, I normally leave it all to my manager and to my dad, who has an influence on my career. And yeah, that was it. Things got a little bit stale. It just happens. It happens, and we just, I won't say we didn't disagree, just ideas of where we should be in the career at that moment in time. And I remember, like, last couple of lines he said to me, he said, listen, whatever you decide to do, if I speak to you later again, I'll see you soon, but if not, I wish you all best, and everything was left amicably. And then, after a few world title fights I've had, there's Lee Selby fight, he sent me a message saying well done. After the Carl Frampton fight, he was saying, fucking some boy you are, congratulations, you're doing really well. And that was more or less it. And then when Steve told me he'd made an offer and, blah blah, and conversations progressed a bit sooner, we were just like, are you up bed? And there we were, and just chatted away. So, but no, he seems very excited, and he's been the first one to admit he wasn't too sure if we were going to get to the level that we have done, but we've done that and suppressed it. So he's excited to be part of the journey. I'm excited to be part of it because he's enthusiastic. So it can only equal big things going forward.
Before we talk about the future, because it's a very exciting future, let's talk briefly about the past. Obviously, you have now left Frank Warren after a very, very successful period with Frank Warren, it has to be said. Just talk to me a little bit about why that was. Why did that relationship come to an end?
Just because the opportunities came up with Ed, really. And listen, I'll take this moment here to say. That I can't thank Frank enough for what he's done. I asked him to get me a world title fight. He delivered on that. He got I brought me back with the Martinez fight. Then we got the final eliminator. I'd said if he could do Ellen Road, it'd be a bonus. He delivered on that as well. So, and we had that great fight May 19th. Then we had the Carl Frampton fight, all under the BT banner, and Frank Warren Queensbury, and that's that chapter closed. And I wish him all the best with the promotion going forward. I'm not saying I haven't seen him again, because I might see him at another show, but I think we've left amicably, and it's looking for what's best for my career and what's best for Josh Warrington, and like I said, the opportunity came up with Ed, and that's that. And you're not in boxing for a long time, so sometimes you have to be a little bit selfish and look out for your own best interest. But lads, just say thank you for Frank for his time.
I think it's very well said. As a boxing fan, obviously, we've seen you surpass the odds in first of all, the Lee Selby fight and the Carl Frampton fights. I think it's nice. It's always nice when there's a somewhat amicable split between trainer, fighter, promoter, whatever you want to call it. That night at Ellen Road, you just mentioned it there against Lee Selby, special night. What's going to top that? Realistically, will anything ever top that?
It's hard to say, really, because from a fan's point of view, people say, well, Ellen Road, we're good out there, Josh, but that Frampton fight runs it close, just because it were Carl Frampton, and the atmosphere that was in Manchester Arena that night were absolutely fantastic. Personally, that will always be an highlight, because of what it was, and we had the build up for so long, and I was a massive underdog. Everyone was writing me off, and you know, I was wearing all this. I'm going to get my head boxed off, and blah blah. Going to be the end of my career, and on that night, and obviously to be, you know, the city's first world champion, and to have the big night at Ellen Road. It were all special little moments, but I want to carry on making them, and the way that I'm not going to go out and look to top it. I'm just going to look to go out there and add to it. You know, I mentioned there about going to the States. I mentioned about fighting here. To have boxed at Ellen Road, then at Headingley. You know, the city's two big stadiums. Not many people get to fight one stadium, but to get to do two and headline them is something special. I've done Leeds Arena 10 times. I've done Manchester Arena, the biggest arena in the UK. Now it's about, you know, going over to the States and making the memories, unifying the belts. So you can talk about what's going to top it. Is there something going to be top it? We won't know until that actually happens. But the thought of me going over to the States or having a big occasion here, you know, they're all bringing their own different things. You could have a massive fight headlined in States, and the fight could be an absolute stinker, and then you don't remember it as well, or you don't look at it as well. But see what comes, and like I said, there's some exciting opportunities out there, and that's all I want to do. I just want to be part of the big fights. I'd have champion after champion after champion, and after that, if I could become, you know, undisputed champion in my next like 4 or 5 fights, that'd be fantastic. I'd look at potentially moving up then, but we just take one step at a time and see what Eddie's can deliver.
You mentioned America a few times in this interview so far. What would it mean to you to be able to really invade the States with your fan base? I mean, you've got this vociferous, crazy support that you have over here. What would it mean to you, considering where you started, to be able to bring, I mean, Eddie's talking about 10, 20,000 people going over to Vegas. What would that mean to you?
You know, I'm saying all this, and probably about fucking 50 people end up going over. small little crowd in nosebleed seats, singing and shouting, not even getting heard. You know, I think it'd be just memories, wouldn't it? I mean, I went over there a few years ago when I watched Carl Frampton fight Leo Santa Cruz at rematch, and I got a little gist of it then. I got a little feel of what it'd be like, and you know, the people in the States, even though the atmospheres over here, places like Madison Square Garden or Las Vegas have got rich history around the big occasions. You know, Madison Square Garden over the decades have had big names over there, and now over recent times, Las Vegas is known as the party city. It's a little bit more experience for the fans. For me, what it offers is just is memories, and I'd like to think in years to come, if we do get the opportunity to fight out there, that people say, hey, they'll be sat talking amongst friends in the pub or at bars. Hey, do you remember that time when we went to go watch Josh in the States? And yeah, I do remember that, yeah. And telling stories about what happened in the airport, or what happened, whether they're on fight night or well stood the way, you know, just the fight itself. And it's about giving back to the fans. I mean, I grew up watching like Atten and Karzagi, and prior to that, Lennox Lewis, Nazim Ahmed. And you see them over there and you think, wow, that's fantastic. And you're also watching like fighters fighting in leisure centres for British titles, and you think, fucking hell, that's some doing as well. But then you win your British title, you win your European title, and all of a sudden, them big like dream fights could become reality. And it's up to you to do so. You just got to keep on winning the fights. And now being on the Sky platform, the Zone platform, you know, that can be like I say, reality. And I'm living the dream, man. It's fucking living the dream. You know, kids who want to grow up to be a footballer dream of being a number 9 striker, scoring goals in the big stadiums of Wembley, playing in the Champions League. For me, growing up, I wouldn't have believed you if you said, oh, you could be fighting in America in these big arenas and thousands of people are coming here. But fucking hell, it's happening. It's happening, and whilst it's happening, I'm just going to soak every little bit in and just enjoy it and give me absolute all.
Take your fighter's hat off. You're now a promoter.
Yeah.
Which fight would you make for Josh Warrington next?
The one that makes the most money. It all comes down to winning the old pound note. I don't know. I think they've all got their own selling points. I mean, Shakur Stevenson has got a great team around him, and they'll build him up really well. You know, it was Bob Arum was a probably one of the most powerful men in boxing. Kanju, because of the entertainment factor, throwing 1,000 punches around. He's an unbelievable work rate. So you think, well, people watch that fight and think, wow, what a fight, and they want to watch it back, and it builds up there. And then there's Gary Russell, who's got that profile, who's been there for a long time, 5 years. He's been WBC champ, I think even longer than that, and well recognised throughout the sport. So they're all entertaining. I don't know what Eddie's thinking between the ears. He might think that going down this route would be better, but I think either one of them, sells. Either one of them pay-per-view, and either one of them is an entertaining fight.
Where does your old mate Kid Galahad fit into all of this?
Well, he's been manager challenger, isn't he? And he performed well last week. He did what he had to do to win. But like I say, my next fight could potentially be Unification. And if that does, it means he'll have to just be on the sidelines for a little bit longer. But I'm sure he'll be chomping at the bit. And if it comes to it, then we have to fight again. I know that that's not what the fans really want to see, because it wasn't the first time round. It wasn't the most entertaining fight. Everyone expects fireworks when they see me fight. They expect an high pace and a lot of punches thrown. Obviously, his game plan would try nullify that and neutralise it. I still won the fight, and I'd beat him no matter what he tried to do. If he wanted to stand and fight me, I'd outfight him in that. If he wanted to outstrength me, I'd outfight him in that. No matter how he wants to fight, I'd beat him. But probably people would expect it to be him follow the same kind of game plan, try to spoil me, and no one wanted to see a repeat of how the first fight went. But it is what it is. The IBF demand it, and you've got to do what you have to do.
Would you ever consider, or would you ever potentially think about vacating and maybe moving up to super featherweight if that was ever a possibility?
I'll probably cross that bridge when I come to it, but at this moment in time, no, I don't see vacating my belts. I think whilst ever you're a champion and you've got a belt, you're in a powerful position, you dictate the terms. If I vacated my belt, nothing's ever promised in boxing. I could just be sat in no man's land, really. If I'm sat there without a belt, no one wants to fight you when you've got an undefeated record, and yeah, you've got an appeal because you bring the fans and stuff. But why would they risk it? But when you've got a world title, it's a bit more of a pulling tool. So like I say, I'd have to have a good think about it. I wouldn't mind the opportunity to go up and fight at super featherweight. I see some of them fighters who've gone up. Oscar Valdez, Leo Santa Cruz, they're both moved up. I look at Joseph Diaz Jr., who beat Tevin Farmer on the weekend. I think I'd beat Joseph Diaz no problem. So that could be something let down the line. So we'll see what happens.
We certainly will, and we look forward to it. Josh Warrington, IBF featherweight champion of the world. Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. Look forward to catching up with you soon.
Cheers, Rob.
Top man. Nice one. Nice. Cheers, Josh.
No, I'm done now. I'll be in touch.
All right, mate.